For this video, we'll focus on education in the 15th century, specifically education in the Americas, Africa, and Europe. First, let's talk about education in the Americas. The Americas consisted of the Mexican Empire, which were the Aztecs as we know them, and of course their ancestors, the ancient Olmec. This here is a picture of Aztec children, more like a drawing, of Aztec children arriving at their school. The Americas were also inhabited by the Incas and their ancestors, the Chavan culture. One thing that I find interesting is that there were over 1,200 languages and dialects which were developed from 300 diverse language groups. Yet literacy in the Americas was still considered to be limited. Now, why do you think that literacy in the Americas was limited? The Americas was isolated from the rest of the world, and this isolation resulted in limited literacy in the Americas and the cultures of the Aztecs, the Incas. The Americas did, however, develop ideographs and pictographs to communicate, as well as a limited phonetic system. Now, let's take a look at Africa during the same time period, the 15th century. Africa was not isolated like the Americas. Africa was a large trading area, so they saw a lot of traders from all over the world. Many of the traders that would arrive there brought books with them. And these books would be shared with other people in Africa. Now, Africa had their own schools. There was Quranic schools. In fact, there was 180 of them in Africa. In addition to these Quranic schools, there was also Islamic universities where the students at these universities spent a lot of time writing and debating each other. Now, there were many, many, many Islamic folks in Africa, and they were quite literate in Arabic. Now, folks who did not live within the city, they were not as literate. They did not have the luxuries of being educated like those within the city. Values and practical skills were the main basis of learning in Africa. Africa, their education system was not theoretical, nor was it curriculum-based. Lastly, we're going to talk about Europe. Many believe Europe to be one of the most educated areas in the 15th century. There was a shared language and a shared religion in Europe. There were various ethnic groups in Europe, but there was still a language of education, that being Latin. The early 15th century saw 56 universities throughout Europe. An educated population was extremely important to Europe. An important invention was about to take center stage in Europe, and this invention was able to assist with spreading knowledge throughout Europe. This would have been the printing press. By mass producing books, people all over Europe would have access to learn to read. So with such a wide availability of reading materials, Europe became known as the most literate culture in the world. So with this spread of knowledge, it would know absolutely no bounds. It would spread throughout the world thanks to two things, the printing press and trading. As folks from the Americas, Africas, and Europe all made contact with one another, a massive exchange of knowledge and ideas was on the horizon. Thank you for watching my video. God bless. Have a good day.